You're listening to the voice now. Yes, it's James here again. In this episode, we're looking at Real Madrid and their loss to Ajax. Am I shocked that Madrid have lost? Not really. I said in my previous podcast that I felt that Ajax were going to win. I said that I was going to make a bet on Ajax winning, which I did. I'm really not surprised at all, and hopefully this podcast details the reasons why. As you can tell by my voice, very, very disappointed. But as I said, a defeat like this was coming for a while. The players have stopped believing long ago. I was calling for Solari to be sacked as early as the Girona defeat in the league, which was just an abysmal performance. This defeat is different though. This is Madrid's tournament, the one that they always want to win. I thought we would be motivated, but I think the damage was already done when they didn't get a replacement for Ronaldo. During the season, it became evident that there was so many gaps in the attacking displays since Ronaldo's gone, and that this year wasn't going to be, it wasn't going to be their year. And some of the problems have come from the lineup changes. For example, Vinicius needs a number of chances to score one goal. Bale during this game was brought on at 2-0 down. Like, how can a player like Bale, who doesn't have confidence or the confidence of the fans or his manager, impact the game when they're losing it? Especially considering the fact that the fans booed him in the last game. You need him to start so that he can feel his way into the game and show his qualities and provide the impact that is needed. I think not starting Bale was an error in judgment, especially considering the legacy moments that he's created. This could have been a chance to prove the doubters wrong. Remember, this is a team that booed Ronaldo, their top scorer of all time. And this is despite his personal and team achievements. Madrid fans live in the moment. I've gone to the Bernabeu many times, and I've seen Madrid switch on their players very quick. They don't remember the times when that players won them a Champions League. He's got the Ballon d'Or. They live in the moment. Allowing Bale to start and potentially perform would have reminded the players of his talent. Another issue is the fact that Real have no legitimate replacement for Ramos. Nacho is at best Newcastle United level. In his last two games, Madrid have conceded 5 goals and he's received 4 yellows. Meanwhile, Barca have Piqué, Ligné and Umtiti. That is what backup defending is. You take out Ligné, you got Umtiti. You take out Piqué, you got Umtiti. Solari will be used as a scapegoat, but the real blame is Pires. That when Zidane went, that you needed to get a good manager, and you bring in Lopetegui, who wasn't vastly experienced and I don't think was a Madrid level manager. You then replace him with Solari, who again is not a Madrid level manager. And some could say that Zidane didn't have the experience, but the difference is at the time, Madrid needed a motivator. Madrid needed someone to kind of build momentum and use its experience to kind of win the cups. And Zidane gets the respect instantly due to the fact of his personal achievements. And at that time, you look at the market when Lopetegui was sacked, and you had Wenger and you had Conte there, and you think, why didn't you go after one of those experienced managers? And then you also have Mourinho, who's now available as well, and then you think this is could have been one of the biggest moments, in Madrid's history, another Champions League win. And we all knew that Solari wasn't going to motivate his team to win. I felt that change should have come to Girona. You bring in another experienced manager, and maybe they win the match, because there is issues with the tactics. There's issues with the starting 11 and the trust that he has in those senior players, and the fact that he has no pedigree apart from him being a legend at Madrid. He doesn't command that like Zidane does. So this is why it was always a mistake hiring him. And the game became even bigger after the Clasico defeats, where he was clearly outsmarted by Valverde. And even the Ajax coach today, he's outsmarted him. He's outsmarted him all over the pitch. They pressed, they were committed in the press. They were just committed in general to what their ethos was and what they believed in. And they got the results, which is, a 4-1 defeat. And then there's also no planning for a Ronaldo replacement. Obviously, I remember reading Market was saying that Madrid fans voted for Mbappe as the player wanted. There was speculation about Neymar. There's been speculation about many players, but no one came through. And Bale, I thought he would step up, but a lot of injuries have occurred, so he hasn't. I thought they would look in the January market for a player, but as we know, it's very rare to sign a player during that time. And it's going to result in Barca, Juve, and the other big clubs catching up to you, or even they've already caught up to you now, and you're behind them. And then you just also look at Perez's decision to sign Courtois when you had an informed keeper in Navas. And watching Courtois today reminded me of David Seaman's performance against Ronaldinho, which was awful. But as said in my previous episode, this loss was likely due to the star players having been dropped. Sergio Ramos' decision-making, resulting in him being suspended, which is resulted in karma as well, because it's been extended, and then Madrid have lost. And credit to this Ajax team who persist in developing young players. And the irony is that they've beaten a team who seem to buy loads of these commodities, which is crazy. I think it's also highlighted that Madrid need an experienced coach. I think that's Mourinho, to come in and manage a full rebuild. Marcelo, I think he's got 2 more seasons in him. Modric is class but aging. Benzema's never been the striker they need. And I feel like they need to find a way to integrate back Isco as well. There's so many things ongoing in that club. I think it needs someone of Mourinho's stature to come back in, take control of the club. It really needs the control of the club. And the replacement for Benzema should be Icardi, and the replacement for Ronaldo should be Mbappe. But I don't see Madrid being able to purchase that guy unless it's another world record signing. And then you have to think about the fact, then do you integrate Bale back in the team, which personally I think it's gone far too down. It's too late for that now. I just think he needs to leave. He's not going to get the respect he deserves, and there'll always be question marks around him. And it's such a disappointment as well with Madrid. It's the fact that they're not challenging in the La Liga, they're not challenging in the Copa, they're not challenging in the Champions League as well. So then they're also behind Atletico Madrid. So this is probably one of their worst seasons that I've actually remember. And another thing as well, Courtois had the audacity to come out and challenge Bale over language and integration, etc. And he gets lobbed, a 7-foot guy getting lobbed. It's an absolute shambles, embarrassment all over the pitch. And as a Madrid fan, I'm absolutely shocked that Madrid are performing in this way. And people wonder why fans are getting their backs up. We are average. We're not just complaining about Bale, we're complaining about Perez and the general decision making, the lack of planning for Zidane leaving, the lack of planning for when Ronaldo's leaving. Dropping the dropping of Isco and Asensio for Vasquez and Vinicius, who are they really Vinicius is going to improve, but is Vasquez really a starting player for Real Madrid? Come on, and if that is the case, you're not winning anything. It's just there's a lot of work to be done at Madrid, and I think it's going to need an experienced head to come in and resolve this. I think if you should also listen to my podcast on why Solari should get sacked, would also give you a bit more context of why I think Mourinho is the guy as well for that. Thanks for listening, and if you comment and subscribe and tell me what you think. Thank you.